Can you speak to 1948? Because you mentioned taking land that's not yours. Maybe parallels with Native Americans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There was a war. The Jewish minority fought that war against several Arab states and won that war. How do we incorporate that into the calculus?
Yeah, well, that's also a misconception, like a misinterpretation of the event, because it seems that it was like it's kind of like a David and Goliath kind of story. And I was always like, how did we not do that? But in reality, with numbers, I can't pull it up right now. But if you look at the numbers, the number of tanks, the planes, the trained officer, because many of those Jewish fighters came from World War II. They were seasoned fighters, and they actually had more planes, more tanks, more artillery, more pieces of weapon, more of all of the other combined, because the people that really like fought was Egypt. And you have to 1948. Many of those Arab countries didn't even have their independence, so they would kind of like send like a cavalry or like a people in horses. But in fact, the whole idea was like we won against 7 nations.
Sure.
The numbers were totally in Israel's favor. They were better equipped. They were better trained. They had like more tanks and artillery and airplanes, and they planned better. So they deserved the win because they planned and we did it.
So to you, there was an asymmetry of military power even
Yeah.
then. But what do you do with the fact that the war was won? So, like, if you look at the history of the world,
Mm-hmm.
there is wars fought over land.
I agree with you. This has been the history of humanity. Humanity was not living peacefully. It's all about like people taking people and killing people, taking their land. But there's 2 differences here. Mostly, usually, the conquering power, like for example, England. They had England and they conquer you in India. And after the occupation finished, they go back to England. France, Greece, Persia, Egypt, they will like go in, expand and shrink, expand and shrink. It's always been there. What is different here is exactly what happened in Australia and the United States. A group of people came in, not just to conquer and take the land, but to completely change to replace them and get them out or kill them. It was very easy with the Indians because they had smallpox, there was no social media, they did it over 400 years, they had time. The problem is what is happening right now. I agree with you, it might not be that new, but we are there and we're watching it happen.
And so now we have to confront the realities of war and empire and conquering.
Because you know what's the problem? We told ourselves we can be better.
Yeah.
After 1948, there was the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. It means that we are going to be better humans. We're not going to kill and take land. We're not going to displace people. We're not going to take people for what they are. There's now laws. There's international laws. There's International Court of Justice. And now Israel is giving the middle finger to all of them.
So isn't in some fundamental way this whole thing that we're talking about is us as a civilization on social media, in articles and books and in newspapers? We're just trying to figure out who are we as a people.
I think the shock came from the fact that we thought that we as humanity have evolved, and now we are. What have actually changed is that we became more advanced in effectively eradicating a group of people because of the technology that we have. And the fact that we can do that under the eyes and ears of all the world, and we are watching it under our phone. We have a window. We have a window to the war. 1945, people didn't know what was happening in Japan. Well, we heard about it in the radio. Like, oh, today our forces came in and they launched. We don't know. We heard it. Maybe we saw pictures after that, and it's quite edited. But now we see it. We're into it, and it is so much for our psyche, and we can't get it. And it's like, and the Arabs say like, guys, you told us. We came to the West because we were told that we were equal. The Universal Declaration of Rights. One of the co-authors, his name is Stefan Hessel. He's a Jew. He is a survivor of the Holocaust. And you know what happened to him? He died, by the way, a couple of years ago. But before he died, he was canceled by so many people, and he was called anti-Semitic. because he joined the BDS movement and he spoke about of Palestine. That is the author of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights that we value so much, and we think that that would define our humanity. But then we go in and we are shocked. It's like maybe we were sold something, maybe that was false advertisement.